I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the veteran Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers as they take on the new man, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, let's get on up to Jacksonville. Standing by for the call, it's our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Nick Foles, the man that the Jags are hoping can get them over the hump in 2019. Super Bowl MVP a couple of seasons ago. Made 7 starts if you include the playoffs for the Eagles last year, winning 5 of them. Now Foles. The open man is Westbrook. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Foles. He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not, and he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
Now a look at the Chargers starting 11 on defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the 2nd time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25. And 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. One interception. It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Foles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 49.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And Fournette trying to power his way forward, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
The Charger drive about to get going and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The numbers a week ago from Melvin Gordon. 7 carries, 57 yards.
And only 7 carries in last week's game, and I just don't know how any runner can really get loose and feel like they're into the game with that few carries. You've got to get that number up to around 15.
Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Black 15. He's a skinny.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 16 yards, a 1st down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken at the 3. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. 13. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Leonard Fournette. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
Let's go, boy. Let's go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Melvin Gordon and the Chargers ready for their next possession. And he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package. Just wondering what he ate before this one started. The Charger drive about to get going. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's where you belong.
Pretty pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Rivers pass on target to Hunter Henry. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. This is Grant. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, 1st down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Grant. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Rivers to throw it. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Charger 1st down.
Let's go, G.
Rivers on 1st down. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, as the 1st half is winding down. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, We know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
A bit, but first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston, where you see the final score there. 28-7, your final score. From there, we slide over to the desert to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from Chile, Philadelphia. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go back to Grant. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On third down, Grant. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football, let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. To throw, Rivers, flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. They will run with Grant. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rivers. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Off the play fake here. Rivers. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. 1st down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Corey Grant with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Again, it's Fournette. And he's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from first down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Charger drive about to get going. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a third down. On third down, Grant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Let's go, defense. Let's go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 16 yards, a first down.
Mike, 44. Let's go, defense.
On first down, Grant. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Be a long day for you.
White, 89.
A give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
First down, Chargers.
Front 80.
46 to Mike.
Here we go. He's coming. He's coming. He's behind.
They'll run on first down. It's Jackson. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
180. Hey, front 80.
Watch the pass.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Corey Grant, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it is 28-0. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
Michael Badgley set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. And you got caught in.
And the ball is knocked out and picked up by the Chargers. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out.
Black 15.
And we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
On first down, Grant. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Grant. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 yards there, first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continue.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Corey Grant. With his third touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
At the Chargers 4-yard line.
2nd and 4. He's got it. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Seth DeValve. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You don't want none. Say.
They'll run it with Jackson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
44 is the mic. 44 is the mic. Watch the out. Watch the out.
A first throw here for the backup Taylor. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's get off the field.
2nd and 2. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Foles now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's first down. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so and he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On the double. 44. Mike, 44. Let's go. Shift.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Eluding the pressure right. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. And they work this out past the 25.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Nifty job there on the scramble. Got 12 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for our visitors, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.